Women literally ask the question, why are men walking away from us? The answer is simple. We are not loved, we are not valued, we are not appreciated. They lumped us all in the same basket as the predators, abusers, and users that these women have chosen to be with and stay with. Romance and relationships are becoming chores because the basis of a Western romantic relationship is a completely equitable partnership. Many of us don't need or want a partner. A partner keeps score and nags. We would rather have companionship, which is different, and would actually rather do without it if we can't get it. Modern-day women can't accept men's boundaries because they are precious princesses convinced that they already own all the territory, including the men on it. And one very good example is a certain very modern woman who managed to turn herself into a real princess by capturing a real prince, and then managed to screw the whole thing up when she failed to understand that this wasn't actually a Disneyland parade, and she wasn't the star. But then every modern woman seems to think she's the star anyway, and if she doesn't get the star treatment, she's the victim of whatever scenario she can invent to suit the occasion. More and more men are choosing to not get involved in serious relationships with women. They are choosing not to get married since they are aware that it doesn't offer them enough. You could be thinking what wonderful news is that the divorce rate in the United States has fallen to a 50-year low. There might be a chance for someone like me to find love, marry, and have a happy marriage. Only 14.9 marriages out of 1,000 last year resulted in divorce, a 50-year low in the incidence. If you do the math on all marriages ending, that proportion comes out to be close to 50%, which may not seem like a very high percentage at first glance. The marriage rate in the United States dropped or just reached a record low in 2019. It has reportedly declined quickly in recent years and achieved a record low in 2019. I recently read an article describing how thousands of men chose not to get married. It was written by a female author, and she expressed her opinions on why this development had women worried all over. The article said that marriage rates were decreasing and that it was a terrifying concept. Imagine dating a man for years, cohabiting, and giving the relationship your all without him ever having to put a ring on it. There would be no marriage, no wedding dress, and there would be no huge celebration with family and friends. What about the thought of having children without marriage? So the author obviously makes it sound like this is something that is already happening or has happened. The marriage rate has already dropped to its lowest level in history, and if my predictions come true, it will continue to do so because of new laws that come into effect that degrade men, disgrace men, and declare that men are terrible, so forget about it. We won't respond violently or engage in confrontational behavior along with marches and parades. We'll simply say, okay, fine, I'll do my own thing, I'll be happy on my own. I'll have a fantastic group of guy friends, and we'll go riding our motorbikes or hunting in the jungles. We'll do everything we possibly can to enjoy our lives and live in contentment. Let's look at some of the societal factors that have contributed to the fall of marriage. Male interest in marriage is at an all-time low. This is probably why commitment-free intimacy is becoming the norm. They don't have to swear to get married, to have children, to honor, obey, and cherish, among other ridiculous things you say in marriage vows, precisely when it's now convenient for many men. I can swipe on Tinder and eventually hook up with someone. Others can use specific websites to search for a professional woman. Intimacy is truly the main thing that men seek in a partner. Every other thing they can get from somewhere else as well. Can they ask a woman for money? No, because in any relationship, the guy truly needs to act as the provider. Although they can, guys can still look for camaraderie among men. Can they search for a friend? They can find that in men or dogs, I suppose. So, realistically, and without offense, the only thing men want from women is what's down under. And when they can easily get that without any strings attached, men really don't feel the need to get married and create havoc in their peaceful lives. They're living as happy single men. Men should be aware of the fact that practically everything women do is motivated by a desire for approval and attention. Every woman on earth desires some amount of attention, and if you visit social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Snapchat, you'll see them openly yearning for it. In my opinion, attention serves as their currency, since without it, they would not be able to gain the support of males. Just consider it. We would never socialize with women if they could not entice guys, and we didn't want to have a physical relationship with them. Never would it take place. Just think about it. If women couldn't attract men and we didn't want to sleep with them, we would never associate with them, let alone put up with their bad behavior. It would never happen. Men would ignore them, and they would have had to fend for themselves, and that's just the reality. The only reason why you and I even bother to speak to women is that at the end of the day, we want comfort and intimacy from them. More and more men are choosing to ignore women as a result of men going their separate ways, which makes women want men more because women naturally crave acceptance and validation. Women want those men more and more while men neglect them more and more. Men are becoming more and more independent and adept at ignoring women because they believe they have no other choice. Women, on the other hand, are slowly coming to this realization and are unsure of what to do. Men going their own way are rejecting women, even the most stunning ones who have never been rejected by a guy. How will this develop over the next 5 or 10 years? Actually, we don't know. However, it is well known that men will no longer live their lives in the same manner and allow themselves to be used by women because they have had enough. Will men in the future possibly think that they need women more than they realized? Or will women come to terms with the possibility that they need men more than men need women in their lives? This is something all of us have witnessed and experienced from time to time. And there's nothing wrong in talking about something that is so apparent. This got me thinking about how the dynamics are constantly changing for men going their own way. They have to deal with family, friends, colleagues, and society in general who are curious to know their reasons for choosing not to play the dating game anymore. People are genuinely curious and have their own understanding of MGTOW when they learn more about it. There are many who already believe in it, and there are some who completely reject it. I've stated it many times before, but feminists recruit more women to their causes by ignoring those males because if they do, more women will become feminists. Thus, those women go bonkers and explode in anger at all men. So, in a manner, by advising males not to get married, men going their own way are promoting feminism. Feminists should thank men who have chosen their own paths, since we are assisting in their further development. But they continue to oppose it. However, feminists are extremely against men going their own way, and they likely believe that it harms them. But in reality, it just radicalizes women. In fact, I believe that women with alternatives have a stronger case for doing so. When respect isn't being served, there's no point sitting at the table. That's what men have realized, and that's why they are leaving the game. But women don't get it. They believe men want one thing and only one thing. You guessed what that might be. But that's not everything men want. Above all, men want to be respected, appreciated, and not taken for granted because they spend their lives working hard for their families without ever wanting anything for themselves. And so, it's a bit insulting when entitled modern women believe they can treat men with disrespect and bribe them with intimacy. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support. So please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything all Canes like yourself need to know.